there's a consistent theme here, right? And the theme is, well, I'm too small to have, XYZ. Maybe I'll get to that later, and the later never happens, or it's really hard to bring it in later. And so having these things in place so that you can scale this. And it kind of goes back to a previous podcast when we talked about selling, right? Like if you have any intention, even if it's just the tiniest little inkling that, maybe someday I'm going to actually sell this, you have to work yourself out of a job. And so you working 60 hours a week to save, $1,000 a month, it's not worth it, right? It isn't worth it in long term. It isn't worth it short term, really. Like, again, I get, maybe year one, we're working a lot because we're building this thing. But, once year one is over, we have to have systems in place. Like, okay, we have this amount of revenue, this is our profitability, this is our quality measure. Now we can scale, right? Now we can hire. Now we can.
But we say that a lot, that year one's like insane, and it is. But does it have to be to that level, right? Like if you did come into starting up a year or two later, like if you decide, okay, I want to start a company, and then you spend a year or two saving money or contacting, like getting financing, or and you come into this, like if you sit with your vision for a little bit longer, I don't know. I mean, if you sat with your vision for a little bit longer and kind of had more of an idea of what you wanted that first year to even look like, is there a way to tackle that in a less chaotic way, in a more structured way? And you may still be working long hours. I don't know. Is that a given?
I don't think so. Like this kind of like riding a bike, right? Like, so you're going to have to put a lot of effort in that first, period of time. And
does the effort have to look like chaos though?
No, I think you have to fall off the bike. I think you have to fall off the bike. I don't think that there's any choice. There are going to be some people that just get on a bike and they pedal and it's great, right? And some people can immediately switch from what are those? Training wheels to bike. In my opinion, training wheels are not helpful, right? But maybe they are. I don't know the science behind it, but like at some point you got to take the training wheels off and you're probably going to fall off the bike, right? You're not going to be balancing because you never had to learn how to balance before. And so, oopsie, right? And so I think part of it is the pain of making a mistake. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. And I think you can read all the books, you can plan all of these things out, and there are going to still be some of those hidden things that you're like, ooh, man, I didn't think about that.
Right. But I think that they're going to be potentially less, and maybe a little less painful if you go into it with some planning and some understanding.
Yeah, and I think
maybe this is just me as a planner.
Yes,
talking.
And I'm a doer, right? And so like we have very opposite opinions on this, I think. And so there is a level of plan. Like, okay, should you quit your job tomorrow and say, I'm going to start an ABA practice? That wouldn't be a great idea. But should you spend 2 years planning this out? I don't think you need to spend 2 years planning this out either, right? Mm-hmm. There's kind of like a happy medium where, I've kind of, listened to 100 of our podcasts. You're probably in a good position, right? You probably know, okay, wow, these are some crazy things that I didn't think about, right? And so so
you can plan. So you can at least like have some ideas.
Have some ideas.
What, or like we talk about like what to do if you don't have a policy in place, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Or like, what do you need in place before you see your first client or you hire your first staff, or so these things can be helpful. Like we lived it for 12 years and we've talked to so many owners, right? That we've heard or lived it so many times. And so that goes back to this, right? Is there is a cost in not spending money. And that may be your sanity, right? It may, and so like I've said this many times, but it's like building the airplane on the runway. It's not a good idea, right? So that's don't be like Steven and just do it. Why not, right? But at the same time, we have to test the plane eventually.